Chapter 6. Secret Lair. Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luka walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day. Luka and Beck rolled their eyes as Rolo strutted across the room. Rolo flung open the cabinet with He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face. A look of realization crept onto Luka's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen. Before he could finish, Luka scrambled up Rolo's back. The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability. As Beck pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power. Luka jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled. But for a long moment, he just stared at it. Luka nodded and caressed the label with his thumb. Rolo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text. He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle. Rolo looked up with heightened surprise. Rolo's finger traced across the page. Rolo scanned through several more pages. Luka, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly. Rolo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages. Luka frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter. Luka slammed the drawer shut. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes. Rolo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam. He smacked his lips. Rolo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper. Rolo offered the slimy note to Luka and licked his fingers clean. They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pond. Rolo carefully traced the path with his finger. He jabbed down at the end point. Luka looked up from the map. Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence. A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs. The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life. Rolo shifted suddenly. Luka gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth. It was too late. Rolo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure. With all his weight, Rolo tackled the man to the ground. From the dark corner, they saw something move. Luka scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief. As Beck flicked back on the light, Luka and Rolo both gasped in stereo. Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luka's house. After some deliberation, it was decided. They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation. Luka walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits. He looked over to find Luka, who returned a calming grin. Rolo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave. Luka glanced over to Rolo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks. Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment. Luka gestured to the corner. Luka looked again to Rolo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luka began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists. He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke. Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch. He punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs. Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rolo confirmed what they all heard. Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door. They looked bewildered at each other. They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luka opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement. Back to the drawing board. They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rolo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rolo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl. Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rolo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice. Beck and Luka gave each other an unsure glance. Rolo slammed his fist on the table. He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint. The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up. Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rolo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate. The doubtful expression on Beck and Luka's faces transformed into awe. Rolo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again. Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears. Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever. He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy. His voice faded to a whisper. With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rolo swung around with a repentant grimace. Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luka tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that as the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth. Rolo shut his book with an assertive nod. Rolo muttered under his breath. Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read. Something tickled the back of Luka's mind. The question hung in the air. Beck rubbed her eyes. Luka's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luka shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off. Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen. Or maybe Gran knew everything. Luka's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating. Luka rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth. He flipped the lid to read the label. As Luka climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong. Luka groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.